DeSantis built a jail, called it Gator Home. 5,000 folks in tents, oh my. Alligator, Alcatraz, kiss your freedom goodbye. Oh, Alligator, Alcatraz, what a wild idea. Pythons and skeeters, ain't no party here. Ron's got a plan with them reptiles in tow. If you try to escape, it's a gator's dinner show. They're hauling in trailers, got porta potties galore, but the snakes and the swamp bear guarding the door. No need for barbed wire, no need for a wall. Mother Nature's got teeth and she's answering the call. Alligator, Alcatraz, what a wild idea. Pythons and skeeters, ain't no party here. Ron's got a plan with them reptiles in tow. If you try to escape, it's a gator's dinner show. Now AOC's crying, this just ain't right, but Ron says good luck protest in the dead of the night. The Everglades ain't kind, it's a hot buggy mess. You'll be praying for a bus back to old Juarez. They say it's low cost, just tents in the mud, but the gators don't care about your dreams or your blood. With the National Guard and some FEMA old gear, it's the wildest darn prison in the Sunshine Frontier. Oh, Alligator, Alcatraz, what a wild idea. Pythons and skeeters, ain't no party here. Ron's got a plan with them reptiles in tow. If you try to escape, it's a gator's dinner show. So here's to DeSantis and his swampy scheme. Alligator, Alcatraz, it's a Florida dream. If you're thinking of running, better watch where you tread, or you'll be gator bait, honey, better stay in bed.
Yee-hoo! Yahoo! Double Dynamite, yeah. That was my new song. It's called Alligator Alcatraz. I'm having a hard time, so I got, echo. There. Let me try that again. Alligator Alcatraz. There we go, no echo in my ear. Nothing worse than that. So, Wayne says, good afternoon, Mistress and Alan. Oh, thank you for joining. I have both of my wonderful Bella's best thralls here. Alan and Wayne together. Wonderful. And Tom says, wow, that sounds crazy. Yeah. So, in case you don't know what we're talking about, let's see, let me get over here. Okay. What happened was the governor of the U.S. state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, decided to build basically a camp to house about 5,000 illegal aliens, so they could be processed and thrown out of the country. So 5,000, up to 5,000 at a time. So that'll help take off a lot of stress from local governments and stuff as these illegals are arrested by ICE. And I don't know if he originally came up with the name, but it was called Alligator Alcatraz. And it's about 50 miles out in the Florida Everglades. One road, and then there's aircraft landing strip there. There's some fake images online that you can see, and I didn't have anything real there. I just imagined what it might be like. And so what we have here is, let me show you. I'm going to start off with a news article from, I think it's from Fox, with the Fox newscaster and Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, walking around the facility, and you can just get some idea of what it's like.
No problem, but all the stuff that goes in.
Give it 1 second. Here we go to catch up. Start over. So the gentleman in black is Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, and the other fellow in the light blue is the Fox newscaster. Let's see.
No problem, but all the stuff that goes into intake and processing of illegals, you're seeing this put up. This is all 24 hours. 24 hours from now, you're going to see even more. And by Tuesday, this will be able to have intake of illegals.
And you've thought of everything. Okay, so there are 4 gigantic tents. Let's come on over here, Governor. And people are thinking, okay, you're in the middle of the Everglades. It's hot. That would explain why you've got this bank of air conditioners here.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be, illegals will come in, they'll be processed, there'll be places for them to be housed, you'll have an ability for food, you'll have an ability for them to consult legal rights if they have that, because there is a process that's involved with this. So this is really everything. This is going to be a self-contained little area, and then of course you also have stuff for the staff that work here. So
Right.
we've got laundry facilities, we've got showers, we've got, obviously, there you see the shower and bath facilities.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Where do you go to get a bunch of bathrooms like that?
Well, so this is being done by the Division of Emergency Management. So when we have a hurricane, like we would actually have people stage here for hurricane response normally, anyways, but we have it. When we have all the linemen come in to do the power,
Sure.
we have to set up little areas for them. And so you have all this type of stuff. So this is not our first rodeo. The detainee illegal alien mission's a little bit different, and the deportations, but logistics, we know how to do that.
Right, and you know, for people thinking, okay, they're going to put the migrants on this hot asphalt, it looks like you're building a subfloor, and in fact, some guys putting down the plywood.
Yeah, no, look, this will be, I mean, there's not going to be anything.
So, yeah, I don't think I'll play the rest of that, but it looks like it's supposed to open this Tuesday, and the last I heard was President Trump might be there for the opening. Can you imagine that? And of course they're all seething. Oh, I should have had a picture of it, but there's these videos you can find out there where all the Dem loonies are protesting, the trucks and everything coming on bringing materials to the alligator Alcatraz. In case you don't know what Alcatraz is, it's a prison that was built early last century. It's out in the middle of the San Francisco Bay, which is really cold water out there, and it was famous for being impossible to escape from. There was even that movie, supposedly based on real facts, called Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood. And so this is like 50 miles out in the Everglades. If you don't know what the Everglades are, a huge part of Florida is swamps. And the Everglades is just one big giant swamps. And now there's, thanks to some goofballs out there, there's also pythons out there, which aren't native, but they grow up to like 20 feet long and everything. So there's pythons as long as the alligators. And there's some crocodiles in some areas, though I understand there are not too many. But the gators are nasty enough, trust me. And Philip says, "Good afternoon, my dearest Deladana." Well, thank you, Philip, for being here. Wonderful to see you. And so, yeah, it'll be wonderful. So, with those people, the videos, you know how the Democrat protesters love to block roads? Well, they're all standing inside the the white line on the side of the road. They're all standing in the side of that. Do you know why? Maybe in the UK you don't, but in Florida, they passed a law that if nutty protesters are surrounding your car, you have the right to flee, and if running them over, it's okay because they had no right to impede you and you feared for your life. So there they are on the side of the roads, and blah 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 blah, as the trucks pass them, and they don't dare stand out there. I love it. But no one else has done what Florida's done. So DeSantis has been very based. He's been wanting to be president of the United States also. So he's been very based and used to do it. They could pass all kind of laws like this. And basically the law in Florida says you can't be sued. That'll be the person who impeded you's fault, will be at fault for any damage that's caused to your vehicle or to them. I guess you can sue them for damaging your front bumper as you run them over. Which is the way it should be. It's just crazy because basically it's a form of kidnapping anyways when they do this kind of crap. So, yeah, it's alligator Alcatraz is what it's been called. 50 miles to walk out. You can try it along the road, you're most likely gonna find you there, or you can walk through the swamps. Tell you that, an Everglades swamp, just a mess, huh? Yeah, if the alligators and the pythons don't get you, the skeeters will. The mosquitoes, they'll get you for sure. So, treating them too nice, I think. I think they're still being treated too nice. So let's see. Oh, we had this horrible story. It's absolutely nuts. It's from the U.S. state of Idaho. Over the weekend, supposedly it was one person, and he started a fire up near Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And he started a brush fire, this one person, and then when several truckloads of firefighters arrived, he opened fire on them. Probably see, I don't know. There'll probably be some semi-automatic rifle. We'll see. But originally the reports were 9 firefighters and 2 cops were shot. I no longer know how many were shot, but because of this action, 2 firefighters lost their lives, and another one was in serious condition and had to go through surgery last night. The latest news is that the one seriously injured is now in stable condition. So, just terrible. It was set up on purpose. It was an ambush. And it's another one of these crazy things. So, it was really confusing yesterday. They were talking about it. There was all these reports. And you could hear the police call. And they were totally confused. Because some were saying like 14 are down, get help out here, get everyone else out of here, there's a shooter, that they were playing at the police calls and everything. And then, of course, the police just flooded in there, and the federal government sent FBI in there. So, from what my understanding now is, Philip says, my thoughts to the firefighter's family. Yeah, can you imagine that? You're going out to fight fires and some nut job for some twisted reason starts shooting and killing you. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And so they brought the feds in. They realized that roughly in this area there was this one cell phone signal. So they had helicopters up there with snipers. They had orders to shoot to kill the fellow. And at the same time, the fire kept burning, and it kept burning up towards where the sniper was. And so the situation is still confused. They haven't given out the info. But they located the rough area where he should be. And I'm not sure totally what happened, but they saw, I think from the helicopters, they saw a body or something laying down there, and they were pretty sure that's where the cell phone signal was. So at some point, as the fire got up there, the cops raced to that area, found a dead body. We don't know if it was suicide or one of the sniper teams, because police fired back at this person. And I don't know about the helicopter people, but there was supposedly firing towards where the shots were coming. But they found a body. They grabbed the body and the cell phone and got out of there. I don't know if the fire overtook the position or what, but that's what I learned from late last night. And so this person, the sniper, is dead. As of now, they're saying it is only one person. And let me go ahead and show you his picture. Put that up. This is a fellow named Wes Rowley. So what they're saying now is Wes is 20 years old. I've heard as much as 22 years old, but most stories are saying 20 years old. And it wasn't the police that leaked this information, but more and more reports are coming in and saying this is apparently who the sniper is. And so far everything looks really, really unusual so far. There's some pictures out there of his stepfather and mother. His stepfather supposedly is a Arizona farmer, big time MAGA. Let's see, I think I have a picture. Let me go see if I can find it. Let's see. Now, I'll save it here. Now, this is the stepfather and supposedly the mother. Again, this isn't the stepfather's biological child. So, and that's the mother. I said big time MAGA fans. And just in case this handsome chap, you kind of had, that picture's kind of odd, but they don't have too many pictures. You know, and a young fellow, hasn't done anything up until the end of his life now. Hadn't done anything. But other stories are saying that he was in Idaho because his father had some white gang member or something. I don't know if it's true though. But it would make sense why he would go from Arizona up to Idaho. So his biological father may have been living in Idaho, up near the Coeur d'Alene area of Idaho, and he might. Now I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gotten enough confirmation to put out a name yet. I heard some names, but that might make a little more sense of why he was in the area. Now, the rest, why he was firing on firefighters, we won't know, but they're being very quiet about it. Very quiet about it. But that also is when you have these smaller town police departments, something like this really overwhelms them. So instead of being too suspicious, I can only imagine they're just overwhelmed. They're not used to something like this happening. And as far as 2 dead and 1 seriously injured, that's not telling us like earlier reports, were other people shot and just not seriously injured? You know, you might not require surgery for some gunshot wounds, so everything hasn't been made clear yet, so let me read some of the comments. And Justin says, handsome chat with he's yeah. But, maybe not. Sarcasm, his hair looks like it's cut to wear a wig. Yeah, there's other pictures, but they're kind of showing him also as a child. It kind of confuses things for everybody, but again, someone this young, there's not much history for him. So let's see. And Philip says, I can't believe that somebody patriotic would commit this. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he shared his stepfather and mother's beliefs, does it? You know, shooting up firefighters. Huh. Yeah. And you remember we had that story about the so-called MAGA guy in Minnesota who was tied to the Democrat Tim Walz in that committed that shooting where he had a list of 70 Democrat politicians he was supposed to assassinate. All of that news disappeared, and that still is so bizarre, isn't it? So, yeah, Tom says, Lady Pip says, hello everyone, hi Lady Pip, thanks for joining. And Tom says the Idaho firefighter who underwent emergency surgery was fighting for his life last night has just been upgraded to stable condition. So, yeah, hopefully he continues to improve. Wow, you're out there fighting a firefighter, never thinking twice, and suddenly gunfire. And you gotta remember, you start taking gunfire, you don't know what's going on at first. You know, and people start getting hit in something, it doesn't necessarily make sense with a fire, especially crackling and everything else that is going on with a fire. So, you just imagine that there's shock. And then, then your mind has to get into gear that this is what is happening and to do something about it. So, Philip says it's awful. And Lady Pip says, hi, Tom. And we all say hi to Tom. Tom's the best. Absolutely best. So, yeah, so this is, when there's like almost 350 million in this country, there's a lot of nutty stuff going on. And my concern is, again, his parents might be MAGA or his step-parents. His father could be something totally different. And like I said, it makes most sense that he's up there because of his bio father. He's 20 now. I think he was living with these people in Arizona, stepfather and mother recently, but he went up to Idaho, and probably because of a father being there, right? So we'll see. And then will it turn out that this action was being done with another person, and that person just got away, like maybe the father? We don't know. We don't know yet. So all speculation, but right now they're saying he acted alone. This young, very young man, 20 years old. And Philip says, hi, Tom. And Alice says, hi, Tom, also. Wonderful. And, so, yeah. And again, because the stepfather and mother had MAGA beliefs, it doesn't mean the son didn't have very extreme beliefs of his own. Now, my question is he part of something bigger out there? The Democrats in the United States have promised basically an uprising for the 4th of July here in the United States. So, is this going to tie in? And then if it does it all disappear and drop from the news? So, we'll have to see. But it was just shocking as this was coming out. The other day. And the big news, I don't know if it's not necessarily big news, but the crazy stuff in the UK has gotta be that Bob Dylan, the rapper in the UK, I was gonna play it, the video, but then I'll get demonetized because copyright. What he was shouting is not something that is copyrightable, but whatever. YouTube has just gone crazy, but I'll put his picture up here. This is Bob Beelan, whatever the hell his name is, and he was shouting and he was just chanting, death to the IDF, death, over and over again on stage, and of course, Lucy Connolly is still in prison. Yeah, let that sink into you. And this guy's yelling this, and of course his stupid crowd is all shouting back with him and everything. And nothing's been done to arrest the guy or anything, because your hate speech laws only apply one way. I would say even he doesn't need to be arrested for this. Just like Lucy Connolly didn't need to be arrested for a tweet. It should just be everything else that's happening because of it. But you do have these laws, and they do seem to be so one-sided, don't they? So we'll see. Maybe they'll, for a show, they'll arrest them or whatever. So, the latest thing, and the Glastonbury Music Festival is where this was happening, and it's just a big progressive, fudge packing ceremony up there. Anyways, music festival up there in the UK in Glastonbury itself. Very lovely place. Except you get all these stinky hippies up there. Not during this time. So it's a big music festival. It goes on yearly. And there's usually something outrageous going on. And you just know this guy thought he's gonna get his 15 minutes of fame. He doesn't give a crap about the Palestinians in Gaza. He just thought it was going to make his name. And sure enough, he got a lot of fame and fortune, right? I don't know about fortune part, but he got a lot of fame. And very good. I should have seen that, but I didn't. Let's see. And Tom says he has a history of violence. And Philip says, Payne, hello, Philip. And Philip says his band name is a play on Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan is Jewish. Bob Dylan. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? Yeah. And Alan says apparently he has a U.S. tour coming up. No, Alan, the latest coming out is that Secretary Rubio canceled his and his band's visa. He has no U.S. tour. It's pink. He has been banned from the United States. And the Glastonbury, let's see, what else? Lady says, I was born in Glastonbury. Yeah, it looks like a lovely place, Lady Tech. Yeah, isn't King Arthur tied in with Glastonbury? Is it like Avalon tied in with Glastonbury and all that, and King Arthur? I understand it's very lovely out there. And so Lady Tip, 400 pounds. So add 30% if you think it in dollar terms. No, 20%. Add about 20%, 25%. And 400 pounds a ticket to hear this crap. To hear this poser. Let's face it, he's a poser. He doesn't give a crap about anything but himself. So, lots of druids still in Glastonbury, Philip said. Yeah, neo-druids. Alright. And Alan says good news, but yeah. He had a tour planned. Thank you, Secretary Rubio. And also, his talent agency dropped him. He gets it fired. You're with a contract. So his talent agency dropped him. Apparently, I'd have to look into it, so I might be wrong, but somebody put online, it was like 3 or 4 Jewish people that were the head of this talent agency. So he was dropped by the talent agency. And let's see. I believe it. Let's see. I believe it, Lady Tip. The first festival was £1. Yeah, everything gets so overrated. Then everything seems to get, you pay a lot of money for crappier and crappier stuff anyways. Like, this bozo? Come on. Why would you pay to see this bozo? Give me a break. And Tom says, I need to go to Glastonbury then. Tom's becoming a proto-druid. A neo-proto-druid. Yeah, alright. And Alan says the fence is around it is more secure than RAF bases, Royal Air Force bases, yeah. Yeah, I thought you can't sneak into Freya over there, or bring your spray paint in. Yeah, somebody could have spray painted this guy all red, but nah, you can't sneak that stuff into the Glastonbury Festival. Only Royal Air Force bases. They're wide open. You come into those with your little gay electric scooters and ride right up to the engine of to the RAF jets and just don't paint and spray it in there as much as you want. The UK is nuts, I tell you. I still love that video with their gay scooter and everything. Then they ride out like there's some kind of champions riding out on the electric scooters. Arthur is, yeah. Philip says Arthur is and Merlin are from Glastonbury. Have ties to Glastonbury. Okay. I'm still listening to T-Rex, Bag of Gong. That was a good song, Philip. It's a good song to listen to. Bag of Gong. Get it off. Down. Oh yeah, I love that song. That's so classic. And Helen says, the Radiators did a flyby with white smoke instead of red, white, and blue. Huh. Surrender? White for surrender? What does the white signify? Huh, that's a shame. Yeah, 'cause it'd be much prettier, the red, white, and blue, wouldn't it? Like a Union Jack. Yeah, really lovely. Yay! Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. But yeah, that more weird crap. Like I said, I'm not gonna play the video. 'Cause I'll probably get a copyright strike. Can you imagine? Having his chair deaf to the IDF, and then play his video where he says it and they copyright strike you. Just crazy crap they got going on in there. And what else do we have? I told you I would look up, that Nadia, what's her? Oh, I forget what her last name is, but she's nuts.
I'm here in Parliament for a mass lobby of MPs organised by Trans Solidarity Alliance, calling on MPs to oppose the EHRC's guidance, which tries to prevent trans people from using the toilet that they feel most comfortable in. We've had a huge turnout today, over 1,000 people signed up, and people have come to Parliament to tell their MPs directly just how damaging this draft guidance, but also the wider rollback of trans rights is for them and for their loved ones. If you weren't able to make it today, don't worry. It's
so with Nadia, with Tembe, something like that, with Tombe, looks like with Tombe, but it's not pronounced that way. So yeah, and she is a member for, well, is it Manchester? Member of Parliament. And yeah, I went and looked up and tried to find some different videos on her, and it's all real far leftist liberal crap. She doesn't say anything else. It's all that crap, and she follows the line very closely. Let's see what else here.
The overwhelming danger towards women, whether LGBTQ+ or not, comes from violent cis men. And that is why I'm deeply concerned about the impact of last week's Supreme Court judgments and the way that it's being interpreted. making it legal to exclude trans women from bathrooms and changing rooms is discriminatory. Forcing them to use...
No, it isn't. It isn't discriminatory at all. What an idiot. They're men. They're still men. Total idiot. And even if they get their mutilating operation, they're mutilated men. They're not women. They never can become women. They don't have the power to do that yet. Oh, Manchester, Lady Tip says. That has a big gay screen. Canal Street. Oh, dear. Let's see. So, yeah, I looked her up. You got 3 more years of this crap. Brits, you got 3 more years of this crap. Oh. So, Pop and Ollie, anything to pervert you. Anything to pervert you. Yeah, call back to old time thing. Everything is trans now. Yay. Screw biology. Screw it. Yeah, so, but what I was overwhelmed by is the fact that A, she doesn't know anything, and she just spouts the far leftist political talking points, and apparently she can't be questioned because she doesn't know anything in depth, and she'll just repeat back to you. So yeah, she was a real winner, so thanks for pointing me out about this person. Unfortunately, we have low caliber leaders over here. Every place has them now. Every place. So, it's a shame. Such a shame. Oh, here was another story from the UK. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. But, apparently, you don't even have to speak English. So they're recruiting in the UK for police officers, people that speak other languages.
Assalamu alaikum.
Let's see. Get up there. Come on, pop up there. Why things get slow, I don't understand. Let me just play it.
Assalamu alaikum. मैं साजन यूसुफ मेहदी पिछले 20 साल से मेट पुलिस का हिस्सा हूँ। मैंने अपनी शुरुआत
Very slow. Let me try another screen.
रिस्पॉन्स टीम के साथ की। मैं Assalamu alaikum.
Well, let's talk about it some more. Maybe it'll start popping up here. But basically, it's I don't know what language he's speaking. It sounds like it's Arabic. So, it's a police recruitment video. I'm sure many of you seen it already, and it's all in Arabic, trying to recruit people who don't necessarily speak English as a first language. So, you got a lot to look forward to, don't you, in the UK? You really do. And let's see. Now one says, yes, we have Pond Life. Yeah, Pond Scum, indeed. And Lady Tip says, how are you going to communicate? Well, they're not going to communicate to you. It's prison for the indigenous. It's for the new masters. They have to make them more comfortable. Have you ever noticed they seem to really want to... Come on, pop up. I don't know why Streamlabs is doing this, but it seems like they want to do everything they can to make the new masters as comfortable as possible. So, yeah. So, I just thought that's so bizarre. Of course, they try crap like that over here in the US too. So, and bonsoir. It's Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence. Bonsoir. Have you seen the Borat video of arriving at Glastonbury in 2025? No, I haven't. You want to describe that, Lawrence? Let me know. And, but, yeah, everything is about replacement, it seems to be, right? And as the numbers grow, there are larger constituency, and of course for politicians, a constituency has to be pandered to. So especially it involves socialism, a lot of socialism. So, anything else happening that anybody else is following or would like to report on? Oh, I do have something else. Let's see. Tom gave me, let me just read you this. This is talking about that Wes Rowley, the shooter in Idaho, the ambush shooter I've been calling him. So let me read some of this to you. This is more news out about Wes Rowley, and Tom provided it to me. Wes Rowley, the shooter, he has a prior arrest for assault in 2024. The incident involves him allegedly attacking a woman with a knife, for which he was charged with a felony assault with a deadly weapon. He had pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of misdemeanor assault, receiving a sentence of 180 days in jail with 150 days suspended. What's the point? So he got 30 days in jail. He was ordered to undergo a mental health evaluation and complete anger management classes. Rowley's social media activity, particularly on X, revealed disturbing content. He posted about his disdain for authority figures, including police and firefighters, and expressed radical views. His threats and general hostility towards society, which raised concern among those who followed him. Additionally, he was known to have made threats against his family, leading to a non-contact order being issued against him. Okay, so if you go back to that picture I had, apparently, even the parents, the stepdad and stepmother, basically had a restraining order, no contact restraining order with him. So, let's see. And Warren says, yes, he sings a song about chasing the Jews in the village to Texas bar audience in the movies. That sounds like Borat. Yeah. Jesus village, to Texas bar audience. Okay. The Ayatollah still hasn't turned up yet, Philip has. I think last I heard he was still in the bunker, but I might be wrong. Supposedly he's sending out messages though, but yeah, he still hasn't showed up in London yet though, to run a taxi service. So, Philip says I ordered a taxi. Yeah, no Ayatollah taxi yet. So, and yeah, so with this West thing, apparently, so we're starting to learn he is violent. He was violent, I should say. An end was put to that yesterday. The big question will be, what was he doing in Idaho? Is there any truth to him having a biological father up in Idaho? So, what was bringing him up to the other thing was, that there's a tree business in the family, where they go down and, cut down overgrowth and trees and stuff, with government contracts and stuff, that somebody in the family, might have a business, and that took him up to Idaho. So, that will be the next question. And I'm kind of expecting to get more out of the feds and the local authorities. A lot of times, as you can imagine, if you're a small town cop or something, stuff like the, doing news, being out there doing news reports or anything like that is, really, not nice or pleasant. So, a lot of times you try to avoid that stuff. But imagine within a couple of days we'll learn more. It's gonna be unpleasant. If what I read, that even people online were already disturbed by his content, yeah. It's just a shame that something could have been done to stop them again. Somebody with a history of violence already, and as you can see, all of the suspended sentences, all the plea bargaining and crap. They really don't do anybody any help, do they? 180 day as a misdemeanor sentence, but they suspended to only 30 days. They even plea bargained with this guy to begin with. Suspect that he has mental problems. That's what it sounds like already. And he's just running around. You know, it just never fails. Never fails. We pay these people to protect us, and they don't. They don't do their damn freaking jobs. It always turns out to be that, doesn't it? Culture Spot, is this Bob Beelan, a mix of Ipswich and Idaho? No, Lawrence, you might have missed it. We had this fellow named, what's his name again? Wes Rowley. Is that his name? Yeah, Wes Rowley, who shot and killed, 2 firefighters up in Idaho. So I'm kind of jumping on that right now. But this happened in Idaho just yesterday. The fellow set a fire to ensnare some firefighters who came along. He ambushed them and then started shooting them. And he killed 2 firefighters and severely wounded a second one who's just finally, after surgery, gotten out and they're saying is in stable condition now. So if you get a chance, Lawrence, take a look at the beginning. I talk about it more there. So just a terrible story, as you can imagine. And I never got DLC working again. This stuff is crazy. Let me see if I have another instance of it. No? I'm gonna try something once again. I'm gonna try deleting. Yeah, I don't understand why things in this don't play. I had DLC working. Maybe I have to try another media player might help. And let's see, I got this. Let me try putting something in there. Okay. Nope. Here we go.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं साजन यूसुफ मेहदी पिछले 20 साल से मेट पुलिस का हिस्सा हूँ। मैंने अपनी शुरुआत
Well, that was the recruitment. I get the audio, man. I don't get the video. But don't understand why things work and then don't work.
मुझे अपने जॉब में जो सबसे अच्छी चीज लगती है
Let me turn the sound off. Let it go. Maybe the video will pop up. But yeah, gotta do something better. And it's weird because it works. It worked really good all the way up until that last video I popped in there. So I'm imagining it has something to do with Streamlabs itself, which is what software I use for streaming these. So let's see. Yeah, very tragic. Yeah, if you get a chance, it's crazy. He either committed suicide or was shot by either police or some snipers that were brought in. It's still not clear. So, okay, there we get. So after playing for about 2 minutes, it pops up.
मैं साजन यूसुफ मेहदी पिछले 20 साल से मेट पुलिस का हिस्सा हूँ। मैंने अपनी शुरुआत
We kind of ruined it. I already talked about it.
उसके बाद
But yeah, just recruiting police officers to speak in another language. It's so crazy. I guess having a job as a translator or something. But very disturbing. So what are your thoughts in the UK about situations like that? You know, are you just getting too, is it just too much every day? Stuff like this recruitment, for people speaking in Arabic now? You know, so you're gonna have like a bifurcated, police system? And they already have that, like in Canada. To be a Canadian Royal Mounted Police, you are given preference for everything. You're given preference in Canada for being French speaking. So if you're English speaking, you won't get raises, you won't get promotions. So it's really made the Canadian Mounted Police really slanted, and basically it's like like say you're in Alberta, it's like outsiders when you're dealing with the Canadian Mounted Police, because they have nothing to do with Alberta, but these French-speaking people from Quebec and Ontario are brought in to police you, and it'll be the same in the UK, you can bet, and that's really why they're doing it. Lady Tip says, I heard something today. 2 men violated a 14-year-old girl in her own home. Their trial started today and none of the news outlets are talking about it. Yeah, it's probably why I couldn't find it. So, and Lauren says the National Health Service in Britain hires thousands of translators because no one expects immigrants to speak English. Yeah. I believe it. And Alan says, for a start, I never see any police. Well, is that because you live in a safe neighborhood or a dangerous neighborhood? It's either one or the other. Either it's too safe, the cops don't have to bother, or it's too dangerous and the cops won't bother. Which one is it, Alan? Philip Haynes says David Icke was right. About what thing? About reptilian overlords? That does explain a lot. Though I think your politicians being the thralls of evil vampires explains it even better. It seems like all the policies we would institute as evil vampires, doesn't it? So, yeah, which one, Philip? I know David Icke said more than that. He also said he was Jesus at one point, I think in the 1990s. So, I don't know. I don't know about him. No one talks about that part, about him saying he was the second coming or anything. So, Philip says dinosaurs. Okay. Oh, reptiles. Maybe the reptiles, reptile overlords. Yeah. Wait, they are all kind of cold-blooded, aren't they? They all don't seem to human very well. All of the politicians, whether they're on the right or the left, something very peculiar about them. And, so anything else anyone want to share? Yeah, I thought you'd be interested in the UK, even about that Idaho shooter, because it was so bizarre. And, yeah, Philip says yes. So yeah, it must be the reptile overlord. But yeah, it was so bizarre. But the fun story, of course, was, Alligator Alcatraz. That was so fun indeed. So, in case you missed it, we had a governor in the state of Florida open up a 5,000 bed detention facility for illegals in Florida, 50 miles in the Everglades swamps, and it's been called Alligator Alcatraz. And supposedly Trump might be there tomorrow when it's opened. So when the facility's open, yeah. It just shows where there's a will, there's a way. They put this up within less than a couple of weeks. They got it all put up and ready. So, and that's where I made my latest song called Alligator Alcatraz. So if you're wondering about that, that's what it's about. So, and now's the time. If anyone wants to bring up anything else, anything going on in the UK, something funny, somebody wants to bring up some funny article, I could quickly look it up or something. Now's a good time. I'll give you a few moments. We all appreciate you over here. Thank you, Philip. And I appreciate the Brits. I wish they could just get their country back. And I wish people would cherish your culture as being just as valid as any other culture in the world. Just as important. Check your DM for funny. Thank you. I can always count on Tom to come through. Let's see what he has for me. Oh dear, what is this? Oh, yeah, that is funny. Let me see if I can download it. No, I can't download it. Okay, what I'm looking at is someone made an AI of Why carrying bearded Americans riding alligators patrolling the swamps? I had to look closer. I can't download that though. So if you can't, see if there's when you got that, see if there's a download link with it. So I can download it quickly. I could put up another tape. That tends to get confusing. But yeah, it's really cute. So there's flag waving Americans, with the flags planted, and they're riding alligators, and they have like a harness, and they're walking through the swamps. Yeah, that was really good for AI, I think. Very good job on that. Let's see. Okay, and maybe I'll get that for tomorrow, Tom. I'll see if I can find a download link for that one. So Alan Metcalf says Wimbledon has done away with line judges. Okay, they've had the automatic I don't know if it's really computerized, but I imagine it's radar. But they've had that mechanized form of line judging along with the regular line judge. So I take it you're just going with that, probably because it's been more accurate over time. Is that the case? For that, Lawrence? And let's see. Philip says, unfortunately, we're a dying species over here, Belladonna. It's not looking good. Yeah, it's not looking good, Philip. All over Europe, they're trying to replace Europeans. It's pretty obvious, I think, at this point. And Lady Tip, had to go, peeps. Take care, everyone. Well, goodbye, Lady Tip. Always wonderful. Thanks for stopping by. You're wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And if we don't have anything else, let's see. Alan says, bye-bye, Lady Tip. Goodbye. Sayonara. Farewell. Adios. Adieu. You're all just wonderful. I just want to let you know that. You're just wonderful that you even take time to watch this silly post I got going on here. Yeah, so thanks. Since you're taking the time and doing this and being with me. Otherwise, I just keep talking to myself. I do enough of that already. I don't need to be online doing that. Ooh. Wahari says there's no jobs for us anymore, but the Muslims can have children to fight against Russia and China's robot armies. Yeah. Well, no one said anything about that yet either. Do you ever get the idea that you're just confusing and muddying everything? They got these humanoid robots. And then you have people like Elon bitching about how they're going to, how there's too few women having babies now in the West and all of that. But you're bringing on these robots, the humanoid robots, and yeah, I know they got a ways to go, especially with the hands, but once they get the hands down, I think it's going to be a big trouble. And then it'll probably be an enormous industry, because that could ramp up really quick. And like I've been saying, they can take, if you tie in AI, right, they're already talking about, AI's gotten really good at coding. So unless you're top tier coder, I don't believe this yet. But it might get there, that already within a year, it's gonna wipe out a lot of coding jobs all over the world. So, and then there's the possibility, right, of building the robot armies, building all the factories in the U.S., but they may be highly, might be filled with a lot of robotics, more humanoid as time goes on. So it could all ramp up very quickly. And you know damn well they aren't going to pay you to sit around and do nothing. You know damn well they're not. So, and they're not going to feed you either. So, I see all of this. I see all the BS. Oh yeah, we're just gonna give you a living wage. Yeah, sure you are. Oh yeah, and then you give us a wage. Then you're our masters, and we can't say anything because of it. And then they need fewer and fewer of us. And like I said, they can make robots can become consumers. They'll have an economy. Nothing will go to free. Everything costs energy, so nothing will become free. That's such lies. That was like nuclear power was gonna make energy so free they won't have to meet. Bunch of crap and lies. It's always lies. Robots won't make things free. It takes resources. It takes energy. So there's always a cost for this crap. But you're being taken out. And like I said, there's no reason why a robot can't be the consumer. They don't need food, but they need energy. Energy credits. They need all that. They can have robot sports. They can have robot theater. They can have robot anything for robot. Robot to be programmed eventually to do it. So, and then all this crap about Elon wants to go to Mars. Well, hate to tell ya, it ain't for human beings. Let's see. Philip says, please endeavor to have a pleasant evening, my dearest Paladana. Thank you, Phil. That's wonderful of you. And Lauren says, war is the biggest industry. Yeah. Eventually, both sides will be robots fighting robots, and AIs fighting AIs, right? We will be put in the Matrix after all. And Lord says, we will have to colonize Mars to source energy for our robots. No, that's not what they need Mars for. No. What people don't realize is, especially, it all seemed to start accelerating, especially like with the rise of Bitcoin and stuff. And also with, the web services, like Amazon Web Services and stuff, all the servers. But the world's being filled with basically the computing service. Yeah, so as AI grows, and I think there's already a master AI. I don't even know it's human made. Either it rose on its own or it's alien. Which would actually make more sense. But as computing grows, and you're already hearing talking about they want to build all these nuclear power plants and everything for the computing, well, that also means larger and larger server farms. So, yeah. So what you're seeing is, and people don't realize it, the world is slowly, not even slowly, it's happening very quickly, being turned into a computing surface. And they had a sci-fi name for it. It's called Computronium. And that's the future, really. You notice it never slows down. The needs always become greater and greater and greater. And they're already talking about, in a few years, needing 3 times the amount of electricity that the U.S. already produces because of their plans. They're not doing it for us. Trust me. So, what do you think Mars is for? Mars will be for when we run out of space here on Earth. Yeah. That's really what it's about. Elon just won't tell you that. Yeah, wow, it sounds like sci-fi, but look at how much computing, as far as the amounts, these use like exaflops or something. Now they got even something larger than that of all the computing that's being done in the world, and it ain't being done just for us. And I don't think it's really being done for the current AIs. Those are kind of going to be subservient to what's already out there. And I think it explains a lot why the world got so crazy, especially after 2016. It started messing with us big time. So you hear me talking about that. I like how I'll talk about it online, and it just gets shut down. Or, just kind of get ignored. We start talking about computronium and the whole earth being turned into a computing surface. People, they don't talk about it. They don't want to talk. It's something, something that seems to get your reach limited for some reason. Yeah, how even do or for some reason I'll get on the serious block of my YouTube channel now. I wouldn't be surprised. It really is that crazy. So, but that really is, if you can get your head around that thought, and think of how it's always growing, and it's always exponentially growing in this world. What does that truly mean? What does that truly mean? So, something really, not just your stupid AIs they have now, but something that always needs more power, always needs more computing power. That's a big thing, You could do it with less electrical power, it doesn't care, but it always needs more computing power. And it seemed around 2008, it started really ramping up its needs. And the internet, it's just an excuse for that, right? So, at first it was, we need to ramp up because of the internet. Well, we need to ramp up because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin became huge. The amount of compute that it required became enormous for a while. And now it's AI, and it's always exponentially more and more. So there's something coming out of it, and if you tie it all in, and you look at that curve, that exponential curve, yeah, it literally means the whole Earth turning into a surface for computing. Well, whether you find it hard to believe or not. So, if that sounds too weird for you, look at everything that's been happening just in your lifetimes. And it's unbelievable. Energy source, okay, and Lauren says, I think we'll have a universal basic income, but only if we can beat the top street. Oh, the Reagan Diablo. Yeah, Elon might make a spot for you if you're a really good video game player. I'm doomed. I play video games, but I suck. I'm doomed. They're not gonna have any place for a vampire. Trust me, as a vampire, I don't want all you people to go away. I can't suck the blood of a robot or an AI. So I'm not bored of any of this. I'm not bored of any of it. I need you people. Don't go extinct on me. What game did you stream the other night? Lawrence, I streamed Withering Waves. Oh, it's a terrible game. I'm having fun mocking it, but I don't think I should play it anymore. It's just awful. I want to do a commercial for it and tell how awful it might be. It's one of these online role-playing games. You just do the same crap over and over, but that's like most video games. So I thought maybe tonight I was gonna stream a horror game called Little Nightmares 2. It looks good, so that might be fun. But I'm so bad at video games. Just me figuring out how to do anything. You learn the Transcendence movie where Johnny Depp gets up into a god computer. Yeah, that crap like that is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Then all of a sudden they can change natural laws and just so crazy. But something is manipulating us, I hate to tell you. It's so clear. Something's manipulating us behind the scenes and driving a wedge. Probably because it's finding a way to reduce human population in the ways you see, like the lower birth rates and everything. So, yeah. So, and Lauren says, oh no, worse than World of Warcraft? I know, Little Nightmares. It's not too hard. not too hard for you, but I'm an idiot. I can't. You'll say that, yeah, do you want to watch somebody play video games really badly? That's me. So if you like to laugh at somebody uber boomering even a video game, then come watch. Let's see, when do I start? It doesn't help you in the UK, but it's 7 o'clock New York City time, so we call it Eastern Standard Time. I think we're 5 hours ahead of you, 4 or 5 hours ahead of you. So I'll start then. And just for tonight, I'll play Little Nightmares 2. It looks pretty cute. It looks cute in a horror sense. So I like the what I see in the art for it. And it's a 2D scrolling game where you just jump up and down on a pretty platform level. Yeah, you know how hard that is for me. They had a 2D scroller part in Withering Waves. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. So, yeah, some people are made for video games, and some people aren't. So if you find somebody playing a video game badly funny, then join me. We can at least laugh, Andy. So that's fun. Tom's already watched me video. It doesn't help that I do something, then 10 minutes later forget what the hell I did before to do something. Tom says this would be funny. Like Donkey Kong. Yeah, can't help it. I can't help it. So if you want to laugh, that'd be the only reason to watch me otherwise. But hey, you'd be amazed at the simple things I get stuck on. You just did it 10 minutes ago. I don't know, I forgot already. I can't help it. I'm just evil, not smart. So, yeah. So, that's pretty much what I had for today. So, I guess I had my little speech about we're all doomed. It's Computronia, but dude, I could talk about that for hours. But okay, I'll shut my mouth. Watch. Just watch though. Within a couple of days or something, I'll get a YouTube ban or something for nothing. And Lawrence's Resident Evil will suit you. We'll see. So, I want to thank you all, and I'm going to try to play us out again with my new song, Alligator Alcatraz. Yeah, I just love that. I love that. So, good night, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and I plan to stream tomorrow. I'll notify on YouTube and X if I don't, though. But let's see. Let's try Alligator Alcatraz again, and let's see what happens. I should have got it ready. Oh, it's gonna start right away. Why? Good night.
Well, down in the swamp where the gators all roam, DeSantis built a jail, called it Gator Home. 5,000 folks in tents, oh my. Alligator Alcatraz, kiss your freedom goodbye. Oh, Alligator Alcatraz, what a wild idea. Pythons and skeeters ain't no party here. Ron's got a plan with them reptiles in tow. If you try to escape, it's a gator's dinner show. They're hauling in trailers, got porta potties galore, but the snakes and the swamp bear guarding the door. No need for barbed wire, no need for a wall. Mother Nature's got teeth and she's answering the call. Alligator Alcatraz, what a wild idea. Pythons and skeeters ain't no party here. Ron's got a plan with them reptiles in tow. If you try to escape, it's a gator's dinner show. Now AOC's crying, this just ain't right, but Ron says good luck protest in the dead of night. The Everglades ain't kind, it's a hot buggy mess. You'll be praying for a bus back to old War investigators don't care about your dreams or your blood. With the National Guard and some FEMA old gear, it's the wildest darn prison in the Sunshine Frontier. Oh,